back to the Something's Wrong podcast. Looks like I'm having some sort of technical difficulty over here, so I'm not even going to be using the headphones. It's just going to be me and my microphone and my own confidence in my ability to do a podcast. Now, today's episode is going to be another special episode. Very special in the sense that it's not going to be really about a particular movie. Instead, you actually are going to get an episode about multiple movies. Because today, what I really wanted to talk about was what's up with AIRLINE films. Now, I think most of you out there have been on an airplane before, and if you've been on a flight that's not domestic and not with like some type of like cattle carrying service like Spirit Airlines, then you've probably seen or been on a flight with in-flight entertainment, which often includes recent films that have either just come out of theaters or otherwise, audience favorites. Like a common one is Shrek. You find a lot of Shreks out there on different airline entertainment services. But what's interesting to me is that they have new movies out there, and in the course of my experience watching Smile on my airline back from Europe, I also watched two other films that I'd like to discuss today as part of a conversation about the airline movie-going experience. Now, some context, as you might have known if you've watched or listened to the last episode, which I'm sure you have. It's another riveting, Rick-rolling, mind-blowing review of another horror feature. The context of this was that I was on a flight back from Europe. And of course, the trip was for the podcast. I was trying to summon the spirits of dead World War II veterans to help improve the podcast, but this did not quite go as planned, and I ended up spending a lot of money that could have otherwise gone towards better equipment. But really, sometimes there's ups and downs in entertainment, and this was one of the downs, but I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if I can say it on a recording. No, whatever. Moving past it. This is one of the downsides of entertainment, of the entertainment business, but I think there was some upsides too, in that I was able to make content about three different movies that I watched on the plane. So yes, I was on a plane. Yes, it was it did have it. I was in coach, and coach gets a pretty bad rap, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But one of the reasons is that the legroom is terrible. Me as a tall gentleman, as a tall swarthy gentleman, having trouble fitting my legs in these little manlet seats that they got out there. And so my legs were cramped. My mind was racing. I was covered in roughly 2 days worth of filth, and there wasn't much else for me to do other than watch the in-flight entertainment. Now, so the way that they have that set up is generally they have a little screen in front of you, that's connected to the plane's, I don't know, main server or whatever. I don't know how planes work, but it's not connected to true Wi-Fi unless you pay for the Wi-Fi for the most part. And I was like, hell no, I'm not giving these Euros my credit card information. So I decided against the Wi-Fi and just decided to watch the movies that they had, and then supplement my entertainment by staring at the flight map for minutes on end while the boredom slowly turned me back towards the movies. Now, my previous episode already covered Smile. I won't be talking about Smile anymore. It was a fine enough horror film. I'd check it out. It's no longer in theaters, so I'm not going to recommend whether you go to a theater to watch it anymore. Um, I'd say probably don't bother. It's not like a big blockbuster feature, but it's something. It had plenty of moments. So go check that out. What I do want to talk about is the next two movies I saw after the initial novelty of watching a movie on a plane wore off. And when novelty wears off, that's when I think that the real honesty in critical thinking can occur. Because at this point, I had already watched a movie that I thought was like, okay. Because once again, further context, hungover, very tired, very cranky, very crabby. I'd already elbowed several people who weren't even in the same seat as me. I just elbowed them while trying to readjust my luggage in the upright compartment, and so everyone was a little bit upset, but especially me. And so the next movie that I decided to watch was Ex Machina. And Ex Machina is a movie. Let me find my notes here because I don't really remember. Oh, I didn't even put down when Ex Machina came out. Damn, that was a bad move on my part. Ex Machina. 2014. Wow, so this is practically a classic. Practically a classic sci-fi film. Yeah, I don't really need to go into major detail about this because this isn't really about the movies themselves. The two movies I watched, other than Smile, weren't horror movies. They aren't really part of the Something's Wrong canon. This being the Something's Wrong podcast with your host Dick Hickok. But yeah, so I didn't put in a ton of detail about these movies. Especially this one, Ex Machina. Oh my God. Like, oh God, this was not the entertainment that I had hoped for when getting on a 7-hour flight, because I had missed my first flight and was very upset about it. This was not the type of entertainment I had signed up for. But it's a movie. It's about artificial intelligence. And because it's from 2014, you could probably tell, they didn't know how artificial intelligence was going to turn out for humanity. They didn't know it was going to be used to like write college essays and make Drake say slightly funnier things than he says in his regular songs, or create deep fakes and things like that. Instead, they were thinking at the time, wow, AI is going to make robots that look and sound and act like people. And it's going to be so scary. It's going to be real scary. Except it wasn't really that scary. It was kind of more a little bit sad and a hell of a lot of boring. I didn't take my most professional notes for this film. My first note says, the main guy is a dork. I don't even remember who the main guy was. I don't remember his name or the actor's name. I can give it a look up, get some credit. Blah, 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 blah. The character's name was Caleb, and he's played by an actor named Domhnall Gleeson. So I assume some type of strange Northern European person with a strange Northern European name. And he played like he's like a programmer guy at this tech company, and he gets picked on what he believes is a lottery to go to his CEO's special cabin way out in the woods. And his CEO, who is the only other character with dialogue who's a human in this entire movie, is his name is Nathan. And he's played by known actor Oscar Isaac. And that's a name that's familiar to me, but I didn't actually do any research before, so let me see what else he was in. Oscar Isaac. Oh, that guy. Yo, he's in Star Wars. Whoa, that's crazy. He's also in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, he was in the Star Wars sequel. Yeah, yep. He's a cool guy. He's mostly been in superhero movies. 'Cause he's a beautiful man, but he's been in other movies too, like this one. This one sucked. I hardly recognized him. I didn't recognize him at all in this movie. That's pretty wild. I also guess he's older than I thought. He's got like a salt and pepper beard going on. Like, damn, how old is this guy? I thought he was just some young dude. He was 1979. Man, that's older than me. Well, a little. Yeah, he's a little older than me, but not by much. But yeah, still, I didn't realize. I thought he was like a young dude. He's looking good, guy. Looking good. Good on you. Good on you indeed. Yeah, but he plays the tech CEO, and basically he plays like a. He's like he's like a Mark Zuckerberg type, or like someone even just like more eccentric, just like a more eccentric Silicon Valley CEO type, and he's like ripped. He's ripped while Domhnall's character, what's his name again? God, I didn't remember any of the characters' name. Caleb. Caleb's a total dork. He's like tall and weedy. The other guy, Nathan, the CEO, he's like Vsauce Michael. He's Vsauce Michael, but jacked. He's muscular Vsauce Michael is the note that I had. I also had these like average tech dude. Yeah. But immediately I figured out this movie was boring because I was like going through, I skipped 30 seconds ahead because that's another little feature that they have on, at least on my airline entertainment system, that you can skip 30 seconds ahead through a movie. And he was still, this dude, Caleb, was still walking through the fucking house. Like he was still going. He was still just like going like, wow, this house is so cool. And it's like, obviously it's because the only setting in the movie is going to be that house. And so they're just going to have the entire thing in the house, and they want to introduce you to what it looks like because that's their main set piece, you know? They were probably really proud of it. It was in a beautiful location, unless the location was photoshopped. But, I mean, it probably wasn't because they were out in the woods a couple times. So, beautiful location. Isolated, yeah. It's basically like an isolated high-tech cabin in the woods. And I guess this movie's supposed to be set in the near future or something, which is why this guy is making AI. But yeah, basically it's like, yeah, he's like a, Nathan, the CEO, he's like a douchey Vsauce Michael. And if you don't know who Vsauce Michael is, then, get some culture in your life, okay? Just look up Vsauce. He's a little bald, nerdy man with a beard and glasses who talks about highbrow scientific concepts and brings them down to the stupid masses to be consumed. But he's like a jacked version of that guy, but with more like stupid, like abstract concept descriptions for like his supposedly high-tech inventions. Yeah, this is not hard sci-fi here. This is not really high-tech stuff. This is all things where he just says he made a thing, and then they talk like they're smart, but they only talk in like abstract, even though you think they both know coding, they both know how to code, but they both just talk to each other in these like abstract terms, like, whoa, it's like if a computer is like a machine, this is like a machine in a man, like shit like that. I called it Douche Ex Machina. It's like, whatever. I don't know. A lot of setup scenes. God, my notes are terrible. Douche Ex Machina. I wish I could put that in the title. I wish YouTube wouldn't like demonetize it if I put Douche Ex Machina in the title. That would have been pretty cool. Next note. Why Nathan shirtless? Yeah, I guess Nathan's shirtless a lot. He comes out and he's like working out. Throughout the movie, there's like little scenes of him just like working out and like hitting a punching bag to show that he's like way cooler and way more fit than Caleb is. But I didn't really need to see him work out to know that. It's just very obvious between them because one of them's Oscar Isaac and one of them is Domhnall Gleeson. And Yeah, blah blah blah. Immediately abandoning Turing test. Yeah, so initially it comes out and Nathan sort of like halfway explains why Caleb's here. He says like, "Oh, I need you to help perform a Turing test. You were randomly selected to perform a Turing test on my new AI." And yeah, it just kind of goes from there. As it turns out, his new AI is like it is an AI, I guess, and I guess because it's like an intelligence, it's like an artificial personality that can think and like be creative and solve problems or whatever. I don't know what the definition of AI is. Just let me talk. I'm the movie guy. All right, let me talk. Let me talk now. But yeah, but she's in a robotic avatar. Basically, it's a computer inside a robot, right? So it's just a robot, really. But it's a sexy robot. It's played by model Alicia Vikander, who at the time was like a new hot model. She was like, I hope she was 18. Oh, Jesus. Oh, please, God, hope she was 18 in this. 88, yeah. Oh, yeah, she was like 26. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy what what good trainers who are paid a lot of money can do to keep you looking young. Yeah, she was 26 in this, so she was like peak like model turned actress. So it's like she was doing her thing. Basically, she just played, hot robot lady. But yeah, it's supposed to be. She was actually the best actor in the whole movie, as it turns out. She actually, her performance was actually pretty good because she needed to play like a robot, and her cadence was a little bit eerie. But oh my God, everyone else in this movie was an absolute dork. Like, let me just figure out some structure here. Yeah, I wrote that. Okay, the robot is obviously very advanced, and so like Caleb should have known immediately that this Nathan guy was like lying to him, because obviously the robot's very advanced and is very obviously trying to flirt with him. And then yeah, Nathan, as it turns out, he finds out, oh, there's actually another servant here. There's like some servant lady who's like serves Nathan, and she's like an Asian woman, and Nathan tells Caleb, oh, she can't speak English, so don't even bother talking to her, which is like immediately racist and makes him look like a jerk. But oh, what if there's something different in the only other human in the cabin? Whoa, what if there's a plot twist involving her? That would be absolutely crazy. Whoa. Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, Caleb figures out, oh, why is she flirting with me? And then Nathan's like, oh, well, she does have a sex drive. I programmed that in. And Caleb's like, why did you do that? And he's like, well, it's because it's all part of the figuring out whether she's real or not. It's like whether she can figure out to do stuff and like, flirt, and it's all part of being human. And he like explains it like really stupid, and then Nathan kind of goes to the second layer of manipulation, where he tries to butter him up and be like, oh, it actually wasn't a lottery. We picked you because you're the most talented programmer in this company after me, and it's because I'm hoping you'd be able to kind of like help, help improve this thing, because we're both smart guys talking stuff. And Caleb's like, oh, yeah, okay. And it's like, once again, it's another case of characters that are supposed to be really smart people just being like just exceptionally stupid. And it's not like this is like a social situation. It's not like there's a bunch of people peer pressuring him to just like knuckle under. It's just him and his douchebag boss. So like, what is he doing? Why is he acting like this? Why is he a moron? Like, why is he keeps getting rolled? He gets rolled at least like twice, and then he kind of has this moment at the end. But yeah, at one point there's the servant lady. Caleb finds out that I guess she's also a robot, or that she was like a previous iteration of an AI, and so he finds out like, oh, okay, Nathan that makes these iterations of AIs. He's made like a couple iterations before, and then puts them into female avatar bodies for some reason. I guess maybe because he's a pervert, or like can't flirt with real woman or something because he's a tech dork, and so he just made woman for himself, and then he like kills them. So it's like, I don't know, is he just like a psychopath, crazy guy, or is that just how he does things? But like, I guess he has to be a psychopath because like, why would he make a body for it and then kill it? And it's like you kind of see like in when Caleb discovers Nathan's secret closet, because he makes Nathan pass out drunk, because Nathan's an alcoholic who's like so confident in his ability to keep secrets that he just gets blackout drunk around strangers in his own house that's full of secret technology that the government would find illegal. So he just gets blackout drunk, and then Caleb just walks into like his closet or whatever and sees all these dead robot corpses. So I guess Nathan's just a crazy bastard, because it's like, why would you make a body so you have to fight them and kill them? It's like, whatever, he's an asshole. Anyway, so as it turns out, like after this, Caleb figures out that, oh, he's actually the thing being tested, or he's just like an obstacle in a test for the robot, because it's actually supposed to see if the robot will be able to escape against someone who isn't Nathan. Because none of the other robots escaped, but maybe this one, as part of Nathan's increasingly complicated and stupid and not really accurate Turing test, tries to determine if this AI can act like a human. And so it's like, if she can escape, then she's passed the Turing, or passed another layer of the Turing test or whatever. Because if she can manipulate Caleb into thinking that she likes him, then it's gonna be then she's passed. Then she's like basically a person, or something like that. It's really dumb. But like, yeah, one thing that isn't explained is that, so the servant lady, her name is Kyoko. But it's like, I guess she was supposed to be like another failed experiment or something like that, but he didn't kill her. And it's not really explained why that is. At one point, he like kind of drags her into a room drags Caleb into a room with her, and like then just starts dancing with her, and it's like, hey, come on, join the dance. Let's go dancing. He like sets up like the Bee Gees or something like that, like Bee Gees music, and then just is like, come on, staying alive. Let's dance. And he just starts like boogieing down with the AI robot Kyoko. And Caleb's just like, what? And then the scene cuts, and then the movie continues in its stupid path. But yeah, so it's like Caleb for whatever reason takes the gamble that the robot lady actually likes him. The other robot who isn't Kyoko is named Ava. Like the main one, played by Alicia Vikander, is Ava. And so he takes the gamble that she actually does like him, and so he had already stolen Nathan's key, or like stolen Nathan's key information, and then like put some like mad hacks on the computer system so the doors would automatically unlock if like the power shut off. And he did this because apparently the robot had figured out a way to make the power shut off, even though Nathan was also like kind of controlling that and using like battery powered cameras to watch them when the power was off. I don't know. It was just a whole bunch of like extra layers of like stupid that wouldn't have happened if this was a professional operation, but whatever. This is a movie, so I'm just gonna keep going. Anyway, yeah. So while Nathan was drunk, he'd used the key card and hacked his way in, and then gave the key card back to Nathan. And so then when Nathan comes up to him after and was like, "Oh, you were gonna get me drunk and steal my key card and do some shit with the system," then Caleb's like, "Oh yeah, idiot Nathan. I already did, so I guess we'll just see what happens." And so the power goes off, all the doors unlock. And then Caleb just kind of like stands there like, And so because he just stands there and doesn't like do anything, Nathan just punches him in the face, which is sort of satisfying, but also sort of like, come on, Caleb, get out of the way. Like you're a dork. You're a dork who's getting rolled by a machine, and like, you know, you think this machine likes you, And like, so, but you don't have any plan after you confront Nathan, even though Nathan's like bigger and stronger than you. You should like run or something. But he doesn't. He just stands there. He gets knocked out in one punch. Like, loser, right? Loser. And then, then Nathan goes out, and as it turns out, oh no, Kyoko is actually still against him all the time, and it's possible she has a lesbian relationship with Ava. That's cool. It's cool stuff, especially for 2014. But yeah, it's like, I guess they had some sort of like communication, some sort of like very loose friendship. And yeah, Kyoko helps Ava kill Nathan. In the process, Nathan does kill Kyoko because she just doesn't get out of the way of him swinging a barbell at her, which is, kind of silly, a little bit silly. But yeah, he just swings a barbell at her and breaks her head, and then Ava gets back up and stabs him in the back after he had been stabbed in the front. Like, he just gets stabbed a couple times, and then he just kind of goes like, oh, maybe I should call for help. I really shouldn't have made all these dangerous AIs out in the middle of my cabin in the woods. Oh, no. And then he just kind of collapses in the hallway. And then Caleb wakes up, and he realizes he's locked in his office because that's what he set up in his stupid hacker skill, with his stupid hacker skills. Sorry, a little drunk right now. Don't mind me. Haha. All right, but yeah, he gets back. Yeah, no, he doesn't get back. He doesn't get back to anywhere. He's stuck in the office. He's an idiot. He locked himself in the office. He got manipulated by the robot. So yeah, then Ava like kind of looks at him, and he goes like, Ava, no, don't leave, Ava. And she goes and she like grabs some clothes, and then it's like, okay, she escapes. And whatever. Then the movie ends. The movie's over. Yeah. Oh, I guess one other thing. The helicopter. Caleb was dropped down by a helicopter into the woods to go to the cabin. And then I guess he was supposed to leave by a certain time. And so when that helicopter comes back, Ava just takes the helicopter because I guess they didn't know the identity of the young employee that they were supposed to be taking, which is, once again, stupid. Doesn't really make any sense. Like, why? Like, did they not know the name of the person they're supposed to be taking? Like, ever? Is it just like, is it just a total madhouse operation? Where it's just like random helicopter pilots take random people from this random field? Well, whatever. Doesn't matter. Movie's over. So that was boring. That movie, it was surprisingly boring. Those were the most exciting parts of the movie. You might have noticed that I was able to describe the most exciting parts of the movie in less than 20 minutes. The movie was over an hour and a half long. And so this should tell you roughly how much of just nothing, just bullshit dialogue and bullshit scenes of just like trees, just the same trees. Ava looking out at trees because she wants to go outside because she's never been outside before. It was just, yeah, that sucked. And another thing that made this experience suck is that on a plane, I don't know, for those of you who haven't been on a plane, planes use very powerful engines in order to propel themselves through the air and stay up in the sky. And these engines are very loud. And so when the airline gives you tiny little plastic earbuds that you could find at a gas station, and they have you plug them into their little monitor that's on the seat in front of you, and when that seat in front of you is being pushed back by some old bag who just wants to recline the entire flight without bothering to check if someone's behind her trying to watch a goddamn movie, then it kind of becomes a rough time because it's hard to hear the movie. The sound quality isn't very good, so if you turn it all the way up, it gets all crackly. And the earbuds get uncomfortable. I believe my ears were like partially bleeding after watching 7 hours of movies. And yeah, overall not the best experience. Ex Machina on the plane. Shortly after Ex Machina, I watched one more movie. Um, and this was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, a children's film. I know, I'm not a child, but I can enjoy some nostalgic things. Just not nostalgic, but like innocent things, like watching people get murdered by supervillains, and you know what? I really I can't bring myself to fault or to criticize Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse too harshly. It's just pretty good. Like, Sony's got a lot of things going on right now. They have the fact that they've made Adam Sandler movies. They have other Spider-Man properties that suck, but this Spider-Man property doesn't suck. And there's just nothing bad that I could say about that movie. It's just overall was pretty entertaining. But the fact that I was on a plane meant that I was getting very bored very easily, and so I skipped through about 15 to 30 seconds at a time, and I was able to cut a 2-hour 15-minute movie into about a hour and a half experience. So that's kind of what it's like on an airplane. Yeah. So, at least I had that one. That was a bright moment in an otherwise bleak and unforgiving travel experience. And I guess if I'm going to recommend any sort of movie genre for in-flight movies, I'd go with superhero movies, because if you flick through them, you're not going to miss that much plot, and you're going to hit the next action scene, and everything will be okay, and you'll be able to maintain your sanity and not try and like bite the flight attendant and drink their blood because the water filter stopped working on the plane, so they stopped serving you water after 2 hours. You'll forget that you're really dehydrated and have been on a plane for 7 hours and haven't bathed for 47 hours. And things won't seem so bad anymore as long as you're watching Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man, just punching people and learning about family and belonging and relationships and all sorts of stuff like that. And it just makes it for a much better experience. So yeah, just watch superhero movies on planes, because they might be meaningless. They might sometimes be trash, but god damn it, they're entertaining. They won't be bleak like Smile, and they won't be boring like Ex Machina. Wow, that was such a valuable lesson. Watch good movies on planes, otherwise you'll get bored and feel bad. That should be your takeaway from this. I'm glad that I'm here to drop wisdom like that upon your ears. Watch good movies. Don't watch bad ones, especially not when you're stuck in a sardine can with no water at 30,000 feet. Like, god damn it. Like, they didn't have bottled water in a fridge. I guess I could have gone more tonic water. Sweet tonic water. Quinine. Cures my malaria. Like, oh my god. Yeah, that's about all I have to talk about for airline movies. Just try and watch ones that are fast paced and good. Don't watch some long bullshit, because God forbid you finish it and the flight isn't even half over and you still have more flight to go and you're already feeling miserable after watching a bad movie. So, choose wisely. That's all I gotta say. Also, they give you a little when it's dinner time, they give you little plastic tubs of like microwave food, and not the other comedians such as Jerry Seinfeld have already made commentary on airline food. I don't really need to say anything else about it. It's prison rations. It's any of you have ever been to prison, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. More episodes coming out soon. Have a special coming out. Have some more. Not a special like a comedy special like anything by Dave Chappelle or Brendan Schaub. It's a special episode of the Something's Wrong podcast. So that's coming out soon. After that, hopefully I'll be able to get on a bit more regular schedule of releasing episodes, and be able to kind of get back on track, increase production value. Actually complete one of the rituals that I attempted to start in East Germany in the depths of the woods, and failed to do because the watchdog came out and started chasing me to the edge of a property, and I ripped my pants on some razor wire, and had to get a tetanus shot in a foreign country, and it was just a lot. It was a lot. Hopefully we'll hopefully production will increase and improve past that. So more content coming soon. I'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye and good night. This has been the Something's Wrong podcast.